G'day everyone. This morning I am at Newport Railway Workshops here in Melbourne, and we're going to do something that I haven't done in a little while, which is chase a heritage special, and I'm very much looking forward to it. But today we're going to do something a little different. Canon Australia has lent me one of their entry-level cameras. This is the R50, which will go into spec and everything like that at some point. But I guess this is part of a series that I want to start making where we take a look at cameras and railway photography and things like that. So we're here at Newport, we're going to take some photos, we're going to jump in the car, and then we're going to go all the way up to Ballarat, which I'm very much looking forward to. So set to be a pretty good day, and yeah, let's get into it.
So a bit about today's tour. The Eureka Express is operated by Steamrail Victoria and runs throughout the year and is always incredibly popular. The service runs express from Southern Cross in the Melbourne CBD to the regional city of Ballarat, where you get a few hours to have a look around, grab some lunch and explore the historic streets of Ballarat. And generally, it's a pretty nice afternoon out. Now this service usually runs via Geelong all the way to Ballarat, although due to an occupation, this was an exemption. And if you are after more information on this tour or any of the other tours that Steamrail runs, please head over to their website, which I'll have linked in the description below.
All right, so they're now finished setting up and it's a bit before 8 a.m. So we are going to jump back in the car, go up the line to probably Spotswood or Yarraville, somewhere in there, where the R-Class will run tender first into Southern Cross. It'll then run around and then head straight to Ballarat. So yeah, so far so good. So the camera, hopefully you've liked some of the photos from the yard here, and yeah, we'll get into it. So far so good. Good bit of kit. So not a great start there. So I left Newport and drove here to just past Yarraville station, which is right behind me here. And I probably didn't drive quick enough or go the right way. As I pulled in, I could see R761 coming through there. So I quickly jumped out, took a couple of photos, and well, that was that. That was really bad. So now we're going to move on. Well, they're going to go into the city. So I've got about an hour or so while they go in, run around, couple back up and head back this way. So I will move up to, I think, West Footscray, and then we'll go from there. Whoops. Oh well, it's all part of the fun, isn't it? So since we've got about an hour to kill while the locomotive runs around the train, I thought I would kill some time here at Bunbury Street. Now Bunbury Street is it's a very popular spot to come to if you're a rail fan visiting or living in Melbourne, as behind me here are Dynon Yards, where a lot of intermodal freight comes into, plus it links to the docks. It has a broad and standard gauge connection. You can very easily see when trains are at least coming into the yard, because you've got two sets of signals here. And yeah, it's a pretty popular spot. The shots aren't bad from here. You've got the city as the backdrop and everything like that. It's also an interesting place because just down here is where they filmed the movie Romper Stomper. Maybe that's for another day. Anyway, or maybe I could do a video where I just come here for a whole day. That could be a bit of fun. Anyway, while I'm here, hopefully we might get some trains coming through and I can take some photos. But first, I will tell you about the R50 in terms of spec and what it is and what it does. So let's have a look at that.
So the Canon R50 was released in 2023 and is part of the current RF mirrorless lineup, which has replaced the previous SLR EF mount, which has been discontinued after around 30 years. The camera itself is more at the entry level of the interchangeable range, with a 24.2 megapixel APS-C size sensor, a 3-inch touch operation LCD screen, and is capable of 4K video recording. The camera itself is pretty lightweight, coming in at just 375 grams for the body, and is frankly quite easy in terms of operation. Now this kit is straight off the shelf. It's the twin lens kit, which features an 18 to 45mm lens, which will give you wide to portrait, and the 55 to 210 for that extra bit of reach, which certainly helps in railway photography. Another benefit to this camera is the USB-C charging. So when the camera is switched off, it can be plugged into a power bank or USB outlet to keep it going, which is possibly very handy in a bind. But with that, I did manage to get about 600 photos out of a battery. Now this kit retails for around $1,500 Australian. And frankly, it's a good starting point for most people looking to get into photography. It's not super basic, as it does have dials and buttons all on the outside of the camera, and only some things need to be changed through the menu screen. And it's not overly complicated. And the only thing that you'll need to get yourself going with this camera is a high-speed SD card. So it's a good middle of the road camera, and the lenses that it comes with are more than fine for the beginner photographer. And if you are after one of these, or any other camera gear, I've got probably what is the most competitive pricing in Australia, so please reach out to me via email to see what we can do.
All right, there we go. So a somewhat uneventful morning waiting here at Bunbury Street. We only got the Sydney-bound XPT, which is running about 40 minutes behind schedule, which probably held up anything toing and froing from here. So I decided, instead of going to West Footscray, I'm actually going to go to Ardea because I think I might get a better shot, although it's next to a level crossing or a walkway, so there's probably going to be a bit of noise. But we're going to jump in the car. The train leaves in about 10 minutes. It's going to take me about 20 minutes to get there, so it should be sweet. So let's go to Ardea. All right, real quick one. We are now just on the other side of Ardea Railway Station. I've got here just in time, as I can see the smoke from 761 just coming over the top here. So we're gonna get the shot here. I've got the longer lens on for a bit of compression. And then we're gonna boot to Bacchus Marsh. We're gonna go the other side at the top of Englewood Bank, get it climbing out of there, because it'll be a pretty good shot, but it's gonna be a pretty quick turnaround. So here it comes. Let's get this shot. And yeah, then we'll hit the road. For the chase is on. Good, good, good. Right, it's now about 20 past 10 and we are at the top of Englewood Bank. So behind us here is Bacchus Marsh, and we can hear the R-Class is probably at Bacchus Marsh now because it keeps whistling, but it's going to take a few minutes to get up here so I can quickly talk to all of you. So we left Ardea, booted it to here. I can hear it. I know that it's at Bacchus Marsh, so I kind of might have stuffed this up a little bit, but nevertheless, it's all right. Now it's turning into a beautiful day out here. And this thing seems to be doing pretty well. Anyway, now that I can hear it, it's probably just left Bacchus Marsh. So I'm gonna go set up, we'll get a shot, and then we're gonna race it to, I don't know, Ballarat or Gordon, somewhere in there. Try and get a shot there, maybe getting into Ballarat, and then we'll pick it up at Ballarat East in the depot. Pretty good so far. Excellent day for it, beautiful day for it. Can't have a bad day on the trains, chasing trains anyway. Right, so the locomotive, well, the train stopped at the top of Englewood Bank for a Melbourne-bound Velocity. So I probably could have got another shot of it between here, or between where it stopped and where I am now, which is heading towards Gordon. But there is a lot of people out here today, which is great. It's great to see everyone out chasing the train, enjoying the sunshine, enjoying how good we've got it to be able to have mainline steam running so frequently. Anyway, I decided to go up a little bit further. There's a nice clearing here. It's probably going to be in good light. There's not a cloud in the sky. There's very few clouds in the sky. So it's a beautiful day, beautiful winter's day. We're coming to the end of winter when this is filmed. It's nearly spring. So yeah, it's only going to get better from here. Anyway, so far so good. Today's been a beautiful day. We're going to park it here, hopefully get it coming through at a bit of speed. Hopefully have a bit of pace up by the time it gets here. So it's not climbing anywhere near as hard as it was in that previous shot. So from here, we'll go to Gordon, which has a railway station there, but it's no longer in use for passengers, which is a shame. It's a really nice station, but we'll wait till we get there. We'll see how we go anyway, and then we'll soldier on. Beauty. So here we are. We are now in Ballarat. So Gordon took a little bit longer because there was an up and a down train to come through, and then the R came roaring through. Now, there was no way I was going to beat it from Gordon to here in Ballarat unless there was another cross, which there wasn't. So it's currently up at Ballarat Station running around. Now behind me is Ballarat East Locomotive Depot, which is occupied by Alstom, where they store and maintain and service the velocities that run up here. As well as that Steamrail has a facility here, which houses some old rolling stock, some old locomotives that are undergoing, I guess, a long-term restoration. And yeah, where I'm standing is the former railway station. So the platform is still here, but there is no buildings or anything like that. Now, down the end here of the Alstom yard is a turntable. So the R is going to come in here and it's going to detach from its train. It'll get spun, and then it's going to do something different. So there is some rolling stock that's been left up here from previous tours, and they're going to come back to Melbourne, I guess, to be used on other specials. So we're going to, well, we're going to go get on the other side of this and yeah, wait for the train to come in. Now, I do need to stress that this is not public access. Same with the Newport Railway workshops in the morning. That is, yes, you do have to, well, be allowed to be in there. So just because I did it doesn't mean you should. I have permission to go in there, just to quash any questions that might get asked in the comments. Anyway, I'm going to drive around here and we're going to go inside.
Now, Ballarat East Depot is home to Steamrail Ballarat, and they have a shed which is used for storage. And currently inside that shed, they have a 4-wheel water gin and a derm which is in long-term restoration. And this time there was also a BW passenger carriage, which has been left there from the Ballarat Heritage Weekend that happened earlier in the year. There are also a number of D3 locomotives that got a bit of paint back in early 2023, and well, they're not going anywhere quickly. So the 1950s Hudson came in light engine, was quickly turned, oiled and watered. And while I'm showing you this, these bits of footage were shot on the R50 in 4K resolution and were all shot handheld. And after the crews had finished servicing this wonderful locomotive, it was shunted back and picked up the BW, ready to return to Melbourne. Where we're going to pick it back up, climbing Warrenheip Bank, heading towards Melbourne.
All right, so it's been a bit of an interesting afternoon. After leaving the yard in Ballarat, I went and had lunch and had a quick look around Ballarat, and then went out to Warrenheip Bank, where the Locomotive does a fair climb. Now, the light wasn't amazing, but a shot's a shot, and you know, it sounded really good when it was going up. Anyway, from there, I went to Ballarat, where I nearly missed it. So at Ballarat, as I pulled in, it pretty much came around the corner, so that's why I haven't been talking to you. Anyway, since I've got a minute, it had to cross a Ballarat-bound Velocity a couple of minutes ago, which we passed, and then behind me here is the Ironbark Bridge in Werribee Gorge. So we're going to get it here, then we're going to get it at Bacchus Marsh, and we're probably going to call it a day. But so far, not so bad. So I've never done this shot before, but hopefully it works out. Yeah, anyway, we'll wait for the train. Right, so it's now nearly about 5:30 in the afternoon, and we are just outside of Melton. Melton is behind us, Melbourne is in front of us, and the light is fading. So we're probably going to call it a day here. It's been a great day. It's been beautiful weather. This tour is fantastic. I know obviously this time I chased it, but I know I've put in some footage of me riding it previously. It always sells out. So every time they announce the Eureka Express, if you're thinking about doing it, absolutely get some friends, book a ticket, have a day in Ballarat. It's a nice, easy one, up and back in a day. There's plenty to do in Ballarat in that 3 hours that you're there. And yeah, I think it's a great way to spend a day. Now, on the Canon R50 that I was loaned from Canon Australia, well, I've got to say a huge thank you to Canon Australia for loaning this to me. And I hope you've enjoyed, I guess, taking a look at the photography aspect over just a normal day of chasing trains. If this is something that you have enjoyed or didn't enjoy, please let me know your feedback in the comments below, because that helps make, well, the videos better. And any feedback is good feedback, in my opinion, because, well, yeah, like I said, it helps make the video better. Anyway, enough rambling. Once again, thank you so much to Canon. Thank you to Steamrail Victoria. We are incredibly lucky to have mainline steam here in the great state of Victoria, and I can only encourage people to ride these trains, help out where you can, give them a donation if you're chasing them. Yeah, we don't know how good we've got it, I feel. Anyway, once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll leave you with this final shot here just outside of Melton, and we'll be back again soon with another video chasing trains. Anyway, we'll see you soon. Hooroo.